In 2018, an Israeli pilot did something that should have been impossible. He flew a $100 million F-35 stealth fighter deep into Syrian airspace, uploaded combat footage to Israeli satellites, fired weapons the plane was never designed to carry, and flew home. The American computers inside that jet, they had no idea what just happened. Because this wasn't a normal F-35. This was the F-35I Adir, the only stealth fighter in the world that its own manufacturer doesn't fully control. Every other country that bought the F-35 got the same deal. Take it or leave it. No modifications, no questions. Israel said no. This is the story of how one country hacked the most advanced weapons system ever built, and why America let them do it. Here's what you need to understand about the F-35. It's basically an iPhone with wings. Not because it's sleek or expensive, though it's both, but because you don't own the operating system. Every F-35 in the world runs on something called ALIS, the Autonomic Logistics Information System. Think of it as the App Store, iCloud, and Apple support all rolled into one. After every single flight, your F-35 sends data back to Lockheed Martin servers in Texas. Engine temperature, weapon status, flight paths, everything. For most countries, that's fine. They're American allies. But Israel isn't flying missions to protect Iowa. They're flying into hostile airspace where every decision is life or death, and where American foreign policy doesn't always align with Israeli survival. So Israeli Air Force commanders asked a terrifying question. What if Israel needs to strike Iran's nuclear facilities and the White House disagrees? Could America just turn off the maintenance system? Ground the entire fleet with the click of a mouse? In 2010, Israel walked into the Pentagon with a deal that sounded insane. We'll buy 50 F-35s. We'll pay full price, $5 billion. But we're going to rip out your computers and install our own. And you're going to help us do it. Yes. Shockingly, America said yes. They called it the Adir. In Hebrew, it means mighty one. From the outside, it looks identical to every other F-35. Same radar-absorbent coating, same angular design, same $100 million price tag. But step inside the cockpit, and you're in a different world. Here's the brilliance. Israel didn't just delete the American computers. That would break the plane. Instead, they built what's called a man-in-the-middle system. Think of it like a translator. The American ALIS system thinks it's talking to Lockheed servers in Texas, but actually, it's talking to an Israeli system that sits on top of the American one. That Israeli system, called C4I, grabs all the data, encrypts it with Hebrew military-grade encryption, and sends it to Israeli satellites. From Lockheed's perspective, everything looks normal. From Israel's perspective, they control everything. Even the helmet is different. That $400,000 helmet, the most advanced piece of pilot equipment ever made, displays data in Hebrew from Israeli intelligence networks, showing threats that the Americans might not even know exist. But here's my favorite part. Those wings, the ones on every single F-35 flying for America, Britain, Japan, everybody, they're built in Israel. Israel Aerospace Industries manufactures the wings for the entire global F-35 fleet. So while Israel was asking permission to modify the software, they were already building the hardware. Talk about negotiating leverage.
Geography. From Tel Aviv to Iran's Natanz nuclear facility, about 1,600 kilometers. The F-35's combat radius, the distance it can fly, fight, and return, about 1,100 kilometers. They were 500 kilometers short. Now, you could just strap on external fuel tanks, but the moment you do that, you lose stealth. You go from invisible ghost to a flying billboard that screams, "Shoot me!" For 2 years, Israeli engineers wrestled with this paradox. How do you make a stealth fighter fly further without making it visible? The answer? Conformal fuel tanks. These aren't the bulky external tanks you see on older jets. These are sleek, angular tanks that hug the body of the plane, designed to match the F-35's stealth profile. And here's the genius: drop them before you enter enemy radar range. Fly to the Mediterranean with full tanks, drop them into the sea, go stealth, strike Iran, fly home. There are also rumors, unconfirmed but persistent, that Israel modified the internal fuel cells, stretched them, rearranged them, squeezed every extra liter possible. Because this isn't about bragging rights. This is about making sure that when Israeli pilots fly toward Tehran, they have enough fuel to come home. But the Adir has one more trick, and it's the scariest one. The regular F-35, it's a ghost. It hides from radar. The F-35I, it's a nightmare. It doesn't just hide. Israel installed proprietary electronic warfare pods. These pods don't just jam enemy radar, they infiltrate it. Imagine a Russian S-400 missile system, one of the most advanced air defenses in the world. The Adir can make it see ghosts, show 20 planes where there's only one, or show nothing where there are 5. And while the enemy is chasing phantoms, the Adir is lining up a shot with weapons the F-35 was never designed to carry. Israeli-made spice bombs, Python air-to-air missiles. Lockheed Martin never tested these weapons. Israel installed them anyway. May 2018, the commander of the Israeli Air Force holds a press conference. He shows one photo, an F-35I cockpit view over Beirut, Lebanon. Israel became the first country in the world to use the F-35 in combat. Not America, not Britain, Israel. Since then, the Adir has flown hundreds of missions. In 2021 and again in 2024, F-35I Adir intercepted Iranian cruise missiles mid-flight. That had never been done before. Stealth fighters are built to avoid fights, not pick them. But the Adir doesn't play by those rules, because Israel can't afford to. The F-35I Adir isn't just a fighter jet. It's a philosophy. It's the engineering embodiment of a national doctrine: never depend on anyone for your survival. It's a plane that cost $5 billion, that breaks every rule its manufacturer set, that flies further, hits harder, and sees more than it was ever designed to. And when that pilot climbs into the cockpit, he's not flying an American plane with Israeli markings. He's flying Israel's plane. Modified, upgraded, unjailbroken, and ready for a mission that no one else would ever approve. If you made it this far, you're the kind of person who appreciates engineering that breaks the rules. Hit subscribe for more deep dives into the tech and strategy that nations don't want you to know about. And drop a comment. Could your country pull off something like this? Thanks for watching.